happy day 5, everybody who is doing the nutrition reset here in this group. Let me start today by saying that I misled you a little bit with the title of this video, and that was totally on purpose. So, this idea of get results fast, this is one of the trigger phrases that I see all the time out there on social media, and it's the biggest lie out there. Let me tell you what fast results actually means. It means that you're probably taking drastic, sometimes even unhealthy measures to lose weight under the guise of getting healthy. Okay, that is like the grossest thing that I hear, and it makes me like physically sick when I see people marketing different types of products on the internet that way. It's just so wrong, right? It also means that you may lose the weight, right? You may even lose it fast. You're going to then feel on top of the world. And then you end up quickly gaining it back, right? So you think about this whole problem of losing weight as the tortoise and the hare, this old story that, the tortoise was going really slow and the hare was like, oh, I'm totally going to beat you. And he takes off and he gets a huge lead on this tortoise. And then whatever, he gets distracted or something like that, and the tortoise ends up winning because slow and steady wins the race, right? And it's actually clinically proven. Take a look, Google the Matador study. People that are more moderate with their weight loss efforts, even taking breaks in their efforts and really just trying to maintain for a little bit, actually lose more weight in the long run than people that are going on these quick fixes and yo-yo dieting between gaining and losing the same 15, 20 pounds over and over again. And honestly, it's just exhausting as well. And last, it often means that fast results often means that you're depriving yourself, likely, right? So if you're on these drastic diets and you're going very low calorie and you're not allowed to eat anything carb related and all of that stuff, you're essentially depriving yourself of life's pleasures. I get a huge amount of pleasure from eating different types of foods, and I bet you do too. And that's quickly going to backfire because when you're missing things for too long mentally, you flip a switch at some point and you're like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I've deprived myself for long enough. I've hit my goal weight, and essentially that is where the weight starts to come back on. Sometimes slowly, sometimes very quickly, depending on how much you're indulging in that, all right? So, how do I know this? How am I the person to tell you that this is what happens, right? I have been there, okay? So most of you know, actually a lot of you know that in the past I have fallen for that kind of stuff as well. And I have a history of losing weight. And initially when I lost about 50 pounds, this was way back when. What was that? I don't even want to tell you how long ago. Too long ago. What ended up happening was this same yo-yo track, right? Oh, wow, I just got all sorts of notifications. Sorry about that. And so what I did was, I lost the 50 pounds. I was feeling really good and all of this stuff. And then the habit started to slip. I was giving back into foods that I was depriving myself of most of the time. I did it in more of a drastic way. And, I'm proud to say that I know it was drastic and I know that I'll never do that again. And it all backfired, right? So I was depriving myself. I did it too quickly. I didn't do it in a way that I could figure out how to maintain that. And eventually I gained the weight back. And I did that a bunch of times until I really figured out what it was necessary for me to be doing that. Okay. So, do I still fall for it once in a while? Honestly, yes. Every once in a while, I'll see a really, really good, compelling ad on Instagram or something, and I'm like, get rid of belly fat fast. Have I been missing something? I've only been a dietitian for almost a decade at this point, and I'm still falling for this stuff all the time. So, right. But what I want to tell you guys is that there is a way to speed up your results, and there's only one way to do that, okay? And that is getting help, okay? The biggest thing that's going to speed up your results is to stop wasting time on the things that don't work. Stop looking for these quick fixes, these easy way out. Get real with yourself and take a look at the lifestyle that you're living and figure out how you can change that to better support what your goals are, right? Because essentially, if you're not able to maintain whatever lifestyle you're doing, and I've heard from a few of you this week saying like, oh, I've done cuts in the past, I did extreme dieting, I cut carbs out, like all of these different sort of terms that essentially mean the same thing. And the results were the same. You all ended up gaining some weight back in that process as well. So if you can take a look at what's going on in your lifestyle and figure out what you can change that you'd be willing to continue to change, then that's going to be your ticket out of this yo-yo dieting cycle, right? And this may sound harsh, right? This idea of just like getting real with yourself and taking a look at your lifestyle, that can feel really like icky to have somebody here telling you that. And I'm not here to be, ragging on you or to make you feel bad about yourself. It's simply to expose you to the truth, right? So if you're continually looking for these quick fixes and the easy way out, they're not there, right? It's really just good marketing that's catching you every time. And until you can take full responsibility for where you are, where you've been, where you're going to be in the future, and you can take ownership of the changes that you know inherently you need to make, right? This isn't necessarily things that you don't know how to do. I think it's just making sure that you're doing it consistently. Then losing and maintaining that goal weight is just not going to be possible, right? You're going to continue doing this yo-yo cycling and all of that. And that, since I've been there, does not feel good, right? You're on these highs and these lows, and it becomes very emotional and almost becomes part of who you are in that case. And that is not the reality that we want, right? That's not it though. So I'm not here to just deliver you that dose of reality. I want to share with you that what I do as a coach is help you through all of this stuff, right? So there's a lot of mindset work that needs to be done to help you work past some of the obstacles with things like binge eating, and allowing your favorite foods in moderation, and just the idea of making excuses and saying, oh, I'll do it later, and all these other things. These are things that we're talking about with clients here in my program on a daily basis. Let's be honest. This is all stuff that you just kind of have to chip away at over time, and these perceptions of what dieting looks like really need to fall before you can develop something that's actually going to work for you. Healthy eating is really pretty simple. It seems pretty simple, but there's definitely a lot of fine tuning that needs to happen in order to make sure that you're both fueling your body, you're supporting your health, you're improving your health in this process while you're losing weight. I think one big mistake that people make is basically saying that weight loss is the goal, but not focusing in on health, and they actually end up in a worse health situation by trying to lose weight. It's actually just backtracking, right? So when you think about it in that way, it's easier to create something more sustainable because you're actually supporting your health in the process as well, right? And of course, maintaining is the question of the hour here. The goal here is to really maintain your results so that you're not losing and gaining that weight the same way in the long run. And I've got ways of doing that within the program and within our continuing programs to help people stay on track and to stay focused and to continue working on those mindset issues. Because usually after the first 12 weeks, we've kind of figured out what they need to do, what lifestyle is really going to help them reach that goal if they haven't actually reached it within the first 12 weeks. So typical results, we're looking at like 20 pounds is pretty average within the first 12 weeks. And then from there, if that has not satisfied your goal, you can talk about continuing that, but maintaining that loss and making sure that you can sustain that long term becomes more of the challenge at that point as well. So guys, I've done it myself. I've helped hundreds of other women over the past years as a dietitian do the same thing, and it is possible for you to do this as well. So in my recent emails, I did offer you guys each an opportunity for a one-on-one strategy call. That's done virtually over Zoom. It's like a HIPAA compliant version that I use. That is still up for grabs. So basically the idea here is to figure out where you are, what your goals are, take a look at your weight loss patterns that you've been through, take a look at what may be holding you back, and sometimes just having a third-party person looking at what you're doing and what's going on behind the scenes can help you really tackle what the real obstacles are. This idea of like getting strict and being disciplined with yourself and all of these other things is usually what people say they need, but it's not that. You don't need the accountability. You don't need to be strict with yourself. There's a lot of other little things that may be helping you, and that's really what I want to help you guys with on this strategy call as well. So this is also an opportunity to see what paid clients are getting for personalized help. I work with, I think I have about 10 right now that I'm working with on a weekly basis, plus the program group members as well. So I strongly urge you to take me up on this just to see what could be possible for you as well. Now, the link to book that is in the email, so you can take a look at that. You have until next Tuesday to get booked and take advantage of that. And now last, I know that we have quite a bit of this day left. It's only 11 a.m. So I will congratulate you on finishing this 5-day reset. You know, you put the work into this, that deserves a lot of attention as well. That's an awesome step that you took here as well. I'd really hate to see that motivation and that momentum go to waste as well. So don't take today for granted. Yes, it's day 5. This is not the time to let off the gas. This is the time to finish strong and really get through this day finishing off strong, okay? So focus, check off your to-do list, finish this thing strong, and hopefully I will see you on my strategy call list for next week. If you have any questions about that, be sure to contact me, send me a DM. Otherwise, have a great day 5, guys.